genuine smile today. All right, friends, how about today's mantra? So we have Eckhart Tolle. You know that young man. He's quite knowledgeable, is he not? And I loved his words for today. Eckhart says, sometimes surrender means giving up, trying to understand, giving up, trying to understand, and becoming comfortable with not knowing. Sometimes surrender means giving up, trying to understand, and becoming comfortable with not knowing. Have you ever been on the search for the answer, the way, the truth? So if you're in that mist of struggle, I know I've been quite a bit lately with quite a few. I could probably count on more than my two hands, the struggles lately. But remember, surrender sometimes is just being okay with letting that unknown reside, for it is what it is. And sometimes, my friends, it's always good to hear this as a reminder. The answer you may seek is either right in front of your eyes or deep within your heart. Sometimes we know the answer, and it just might take a while for us to get there. So I hope it doesn't take you too long to find your yoga mat. We're going to get started on our yoga mat, and we are going to get started kneeling on a yoga block today. So I hope you are as ready as I am. As I mentioned, a nice, gentle yoga practice. And I want you to have your second yoga block nearby. We're going to be using that one today as well. And so I'm going to be kneeling. And there's 3 heights to your yoga block. I'm going to place mine in the medium. So it's going to be lengthwise between my ankles and the second setting. So not the lowest setting, but the second setting. And that's going to allow you just a little bit of extra space underneath your sit bones for your pelvis to raise up just a bit, space behind your knees, and a nice tall spine. Feels so good already just to be here with you today. Take a deep breath in, a deep breath out the mouth. So good to just be here. Draw the navel into the spine. You can close your eyes. You can also take a soft gaze to the earth. And again, deep breath in. And release. Just a few more deep breaths. Let your hands rest on your thighs. Deep breath in through the nose. Out through the mouth. Just a few more, allowing ourselves to feel centered. And release. And these next few breaths, a little deeper, slower inhale. Allow yourself to pause and hold the breath in at the top. Open mouth, sigh. Let it go. And again, deep breath in. And hold. Full exhale. Full release. Continue to release the air. And again, deep inhale. Longest breath in of class. Take a moment for pause. And release. Feel free to keep your eyes closed. Begin to cultivate the Ujjayi breath. Sealing the lips. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. You begin to notice your breath, draw the navel into the spine. Encourage the crown of the head toward the earth, like a rope pulling the skull tall, spine long. Engaging the navel in toward the spine. And then blinking your eyes to open. Good. Take that second yoga block if you have it. Place it tall-wise between your hands. And then press firmly into that yoga block. If you don't have a yoga block, you could just press your hands together. Inhale nice and tall here. Exhale, twist to the right. Take the yoga block with you. Stay long. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, twisting left. That yoga block goes along for the ride. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the right. And inhale, center. Exhale, left. Good. Keep your spine long, friends. Engage your belly. Inhale, center. We'll do one more round. Exhale to the right. Stay long through the exhale, through the twist. Inhale to center. Find another inch of length. And exhale, left. Good. Inhale, come back to center. Beautiful. Take that yoga block, any height, place it out to the left side of your mat. Place your left hand on that block and then inhale, reach your right arm up and over. We'll get a nice stretch through the right side of the body. You might want to splay that arm out far so the block may move further away from your yoga mat to get a deeper stretch. And then inhale, let's come back up to center. Exhale, take it over same side. So over to that left side again, right arm reaches up and over. Good. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, reach over, reaching to the left, really rooting through that right sit bone. Inhale, come back up to upright. And then last one here, exhale. Reach over to that left side, breathing that toning sensation through the right waist, oblique. Inhale, come center. Beautiful. Take that yoga block over to the second side. Right arm will rest on it. Inhale, left arm lifts up and over. You can go as deep or as gentle as you'd like, really rooting through the left sit bone. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, take it over. You might find one side is more agreeable than the next. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, take it back over, right hand to block, left arm overhead, chin away from the chest. Good. Exhale, come back center. We have one more. Inhale, left arm lifts up and over, making this your deepest yet. And then inhale, come center and exhale. Really nicely done. Let's remove that yoga block from underneath your sit bones. And then let's come into table pose. So on your hands and knees, my friends, spread your fingers wide, palms stacking underneath the shoulders, hips above the knees. And then let's just slowly sway those hips from side to side. So moving to the rhythm of your breath, always guiding the body with the breath. Breath is always our foundation of our yoga practice. And now let's engage the shoulders. So swaying the shoulders and the hips from side to side, all the while pressing the mat away from you, toning the belly by drawing that navel into the spine. And then from here, center, inhale, send the heart to the front of the yoga mat. And then exhale, sit back to your heels. You might even tuck your toes here, getting a nice stretch. Inhaling forward, exhaling back, breathing in and out of your nose. Notice if your breath is short and choppy. Notice if the breath is long and soft. We want to encourage the Ujjayi breath that feels best and most appropriate for your body today. All right, as we come back to center, let's twist those fingers toward facing our knees. So externally rotate, my thumbs are facing the outer edges of the yoga mat. And again, come back to the swaying motion, right to left, left to right, breathing in and out of the nose. Spread your fingers wide, grip the mat with your fingers. You'll notice naturally a lot of the weight wants to move into the heels of the hands. So make sure we evenly distribute the weight. Inhale, heart comes forward. Exhale, sit back to your heels. Full breaths, inhaling forward, exhaling back. Now you'll feel a nice stretch through the forearms, the wrists. Please rest accordingly. You never want to find that you're in pain, but remember, we do want to, as I often say, clear out the cobwebs. So breathing fully, and then come back to center, and then flip one palm at a time or both palms at the same time toward the ceiling, pressing all 10 fingernails down into the mat. I'll cue you when it's time to switch hands for those of you doing one at a time. Start your rotations in this variation. So your palms are stacked under the shoulders. You're even pressing those thumb fingernails into the mat. And you'll change directions accordingly. See what feels good for your body. Try your best to soften your jaw and try your best to relax the shoulders away from the ears. You'll see my arms are straight. Remember, friends, I do this for a living. I do this all the time. So if your arms are not straight, that is okay. Switching hands if you haven't already. Switching directions if you haven't already, for my friends doing both palms at once. Long, deep breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. Long breaths in and out. Exhale, sit back to your heels. Just let your palms rest on your thighs. And just for a few breaths, with good posture, just let the heat of the hands rub on the thighs, just working out all the kinks from our wrists. Good. And then just like you're giving yourself some love taps, just start to tap your quads with the palms all over. You're not only getting a nice leg massage here, but you're also just adding some aliveness back to the palms. Good. Flip your palms to the ceiling. Tap the tops of the hands all over the thighs. And now let your wrists be loose, like you're waving to me upside down. And now side to side. And now like a toddler waving hello, hello. And then just shake it out. Really nice. Get some aliveness through the forearms, maybe even getting those upper arms engaged as well. Really nice job. Back to table pose. You'll feel that aliveness through the fingertips, through the palms, through the wrists. Inhale, tuck your toes. Exhale, come into down dog. Do the best you can with this. And then just start to walk your dog. So remember, there's no right or wrong here. You can stay in table if you prefer. Just starting to open up our back body. This is a great way. Not only stretch the shoulders, we do this by pressing them out away. Take your belly toward your thighs. Knees can stay with a soft bend, or you can also straighten your legs if you want a deeper stretch in those hamstrings. And then on your next inhale, friends, walk the feet up to the hands. You can grab those yoga blocks, placing them right in front of the toes. Inhale, halfway lift for length. And then exhale into that forward fold. Now you can stay here with hands to blocks or catch opposite elbows for ragdoll. The feet are hips distance rather, and then you can sway from side to side. You might even find the gaze going between the knees. You could close your eyes here, just allowing the back body to soften. Breathing in and out of the nose. Allow your navel to hug into the spine. And you'll find a little bit of weight, even more so than in the heels, transferring toward the front of the feet. Long, deep breaths. In and out of the nose. Wonderful, friends. Bring those blocks back on their tallest setting. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, back to that forward fold. And now inhale all the way up. Arms overhead. And then exhale, palms melt right at the center of the heart. Looking really good. Inhale, come high up onto the balls of the feet if you'd like to challenge your balance. And then exhale, heels come down. Good. And again, inhale, lift the heels, reach for the ceiling. And exhale all the way down. Looking so strong, everyone. Inhale, circle up nice and tall. And exhale. Palms to heart center, really nicely done. Now you have your blocks about hips distance, just checking in with your balance. So we don't need perfection. Feel free to use a wall or chair. We're just doing a little balance check. Standing on the left leg, inhale, arms up. Just bring your toes to that right block. Single-legged mountain, nice variation. If you want to challenge your balance even more, you can lift your foot off the block, not necessary. And then exhale, bring it down. You can use the same block, other side. Inhale, lift the arms, left toes to the block. See how that feels. Check in with your balance. If you want to challenge your balance again, you can lift your foot off the block, not necessary. And exhale down. We'll do another round on each side. Inhale, reaching the arms, reaching that right knee hip height. You can use your toes on the block or not. Beautiful. Exhale, lower down. Stay nice and tall. Relax the shoulders and jaw. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the left knee, hip height, or toes can remain on the block. And exhale, bring it down. Beautiful. Inhale, circle your arms tall, back up onto the balls of the feet. Exhale, palms to heart center. And again, inhale, lift the heels if you'd like. And exhale, palms to heart center. Really nicely done. Now keep your blocks where they are. We are just going to start to warm up the low body, staying upright, palms to heart center. Glue your right foot exactly where it is at the front of the mat. As you exhale, step back into a high lunge with the left foot. Good. Remember to use your width of the mat, use the length. Inhale, bring it back up. And then exhale, step your right foot back. Beautiful. Yeah, just trusting your balance, looking good. Remember that cable. Inhale, the cable pulls you up. Good. Exhale, left foot steps back. Good. Just hold for another breath here. Remember that cable pulling you up. Inhale, step up. Beautiful. Exhale, step the right foot back. Trust you'll land in the right spot. Looking good. Take another breath. And then inhale, left foot to meet right. Beautiful. Inhale, circle up. Option to lift the heels. Exhale, back to heart center. And one more. Inhale, circle. And exhale. Good. Now remember what we just did. We're just going to build on a bit. Your blocks are there for support. Glue that right foot where it is. Exhale, step your left foot back, high lunge. Beautiful. Take another breath here. As you exhale, your left hand will come to your block. It could be at the tallest setting or the lowest setting. Right underneath your shoulder. Inhale, twist right. Reach your right hand up to the sky. Good. Now send your right shin forward just a bit. Get a little deeper into the lunge. And then exhale, right hand to block. Left block will come tall again. Step your left foot up. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your left foot back. Good. Inhale, step your left foot forward. Exhale, step your right foot back. Hands can stay on blocks here, just working the low body. Beautiful, friends. Inhale, step forward. This time, exhale, step your left foot back. And then inhale, step your left foot forward. Exhale, step your right foot back. Now lower your right block or keep it there. Right hand to block. Inhale, twist left. Your left arm will reach up to the sky. You can look to your left thumb. Checking in with your balance. You could lower your right knee, always an option. Exhale, left hand to block. Regain the height in the right block. Inhale, step forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to rise, come all the way up. And exhale, heels can stay on the mat, my friends. Inhale, circle the arms. This time as you exhale, let's cactus shape those arms. Feel that cable lifting the heart. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Shift your hips forward just a bit. Inhale, reach. And exhale, palms to heart center. Let's bring our big toes to touch. Good. Now we have a couple options here. Steeple grip. So you'll interlace your fingers, just leaving your forefinger. Another new thing I've been playing with is taking opposite elbows. And we're going to do some side bends. And I want you to choose either steeple grip or opposite elbows. Try or be playful, maybe trying both. Inhale, lift your arms overhead in whatever way feels good. Find your inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach to the right. It goes a little deeper for me when I'm holding my forearms or opposite elbows. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Good. Now, if it's stressing your shoulders out, you could extend the arms long. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Come back to that steeple grip. Sometimes we don't need the deeper. Inhale, center. Looking really strong. Exhale, left. We have one more round. Inhale, center. Chin moves away from the chest. Exhale, right. Feel the toning in the left oblique. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. And exhale, relax the arms down. Take your feet hips width and just some shoulder rolls at your own pace. I want you to feel the broadening in the upper heart space. Good, really nice. Now, without a lot of effort in the upper body, let's change directions of the shoulder rolls. Breathing, draw your navel in and notice where you may be tensing. It could be the jaw. You might be clenching through the jaw just out of habit, not even knowing you're doing it. Take another breath in and out. Good. Just natural arms at your sides. Feet remain hips width. Now, like you're holding weights in your hands, you don't need to tense your hands up, but like you were, inhale, slide your left hand down your outer thigh as low as it can go, and then inhale back to center, exhale right to the other side. Good, inhale. Now I want you to add a layer on. We'll continue the same motion. I want you to think if your back is against a wall, see if you could stand a little straighter, see if you could bend a little broader. Head reaching back to stay stacked over the shoulder line. Good, breathing on the inhale, you'll come center each and every time, maybe going a little deeper. Deep breaths, ujjayi, in and out of the nose. Good, really nicely done, friends. Shake out those arms. We've done a lot in our upper body, so let's move right into those effortless arms, swaying with ease. And I don't know if you all have fallen in love with this motion like I do. I have to tell you, I find myself standing in my kitchen, and guess what I'm doing? When no one's looking, I told the dogs they're allowed to look. They're the only secret pals that know that I do this all around the house. Nobody in the house can know. It's our little secret. Now, remember that cable I keep mentioning today. Imagine that cable is pulling the crown of your head an inch taller as we speak. Keeping that level of activity through the body, that awareness. You'll come to slow, take your time. Your arms will eventually come to stillness. And then just finding that stillness. Eyes closed or soft gaze to the earth. Breathing through the sensations you might be experiencing through the body. Beautiful. And then blinking your eyes to open, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, rotate your wrists. Really nice, friends. All right, standing right behind your blocks toward the front of your mat. Inhale, circle your arms. Exhale, forward fold, hands come to blocks here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back your left foot and then let your left knee come down. So low lunge. You can untuck your toes. Good. Bring your blocks so they're underneath your shoulders and lift your heart, lift your gaze. Send your right shin forward. And then at the same time, hug your right thigh bone back into the hip socket. That's going to send your left hip toward the front of your mat. You're getting a nice stretch through this left hip flexor. Lifting the heart, lifting the gaze. You could even place your fists into the blocks to raise up a little bit more. If that feels better, stay there. Keep your support with the blocks, always supporting your practice. And then friends, from here, let's flex your right foot. So just the right heel on the ground. Exhale, drag your right sit bone back. Take your yoga blocks with you for a little yoga walk. I like to keep my blocks right underneath my shoulders. Now you're getting a nice stretch through the right back line of the legs. If you want to go a little deeper, flex your right foot even more. If you want less, relax your right foot. And then re-engage when you're ready for that stretch. Continue to find your gaze toward the front of your mat. Back is nice and flat. You could even hinge at your hip a little deeper to stretch a little bit more. Good. Inhale. Come back into that low lunge. Bring your yoga blocks with you. Tuck your left toes. Send your heel back. Raise your left knee. And now step your left foot in. And then angle your left toes toward the left corner of your mat. Good. So right, left leg are straight. Your feet are about a few inches apart, so hips width. And now, friends, what you're going to do is stay with your hands to blocks. Take your left hand, place it on that right block to the pinky toe side of the front foot. Right hand is going to come to your hip. And now, if you can, just start to stack your right shoulder, twisting to the right. You'll stack it over the left. You can look out to the wall on the right side of your space, or you could even look to the ceiling as you raise your right hand to the sky. If you need to adjust your block height, you might need to make it a little lower. I know for myself, I like it on the lowest setting, but that's up to you. You'll feel this stretch through the outer right hip, the leg, the IT band. And then exhale, right hand to block, untwist. My blocks are back to their tallest setting. And then step your left foot up to meet the right. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift, halfway. Exhale, forward fold, friends. And then inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, let's step back with that left foot, coming to your low lunge. So that right knee will come down. Hands to blocks, right underneath the shoulders. So now we're stretching our right hip flexor. And imagine that cable lifting the heart, lifting the gaze. Send your left shin forward. Breathe as you hug the left femur back into the hip socket. Fists may come to blocks. Breathe into that stretch. Looking really good. And now let's come into that half split, stretching the left hamstring. Inhale, flex your left foot. And then drag your sit bones back. Again, you can keep your yoga blocks forward. I like to walk mine back. That's a matter of preference. You know how to engage by flexing your left foot like you're standing on the floor for more. If you want a little less, just relax your foot. If you want to go even deeper, hinging forward, gazing forward, keeping your chakras open. Really important that you imagine a water bottle balancing between your shoulder blades. Breathing in and out of the nose. Beautiful, friends. Inhale, come back into that front lunge. Yoga blocks come with you. Tuck your right toes. Send your heel back. You'll float the knee. And now step that right foot in. Your feet are about 2 to 3 feet apart, hips width. And then you can change the height, if you'd like, of that left yoga block. Inhale, twist left. Your right hand will come to the block. It could be tallest or shortest setting. Left hand to hip. You can start to look to the ceiling or just to the left wall. If it feels all right, gently extending that left hand skyward. Hugging your left hip back. This is such a great stretch to help stretch the outer left line of the body, the IT band, not easy to get to. And then exhale, hands to blocks, tall blocks here. Inhale, step forward, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up, nice flat back. And then exhale, release the hands down to your side. Good, take a moment. Any organic movement, maybe shaking out the legs, maybe swaying the hips, whatever's feeling good, getting yourself feeling neutralized. I like to even roll the wrists. I've been doing that a lot lately. See how that feels. Just I like to take the temperature. You know, we're about halfway through our yoga practice. Just notice the aliveness that has returned to the body. Inhale, join your palms at your low back. Now I'm going to give you options here. I'm turning to this side so you can see me, but you can stay forward. Inhale, lift your heart, slide your knuckles down, reach for your heels. Notice from here, notice how I'm sending my hips forward. Now I want you to feel comfortable in your low back, so engage your glutes. Now, can you soften into the pose without the need to go deeper? Just enjoy the stretch. Weight will come toward the front of the feet. Control your neck. Maybe even looking to the wall behind. That is up to you. Inhale, back to upright. Now, if it feels good, you'll repeat that. Or exhale, you can hinge forward fold. Remember, these are options, not necessities. Reaching up and overhead, maybe taking the chin to your chest. Ah, my shoulders are saying good morning. All right, friends, inhale, reach to the right, bend your right knee. You could look to the ceiling over that left shoulder. Breathe into that stretch. Once again, you'll notice that same stretch in the outside of the left hip and leg. Inhale, come to center, straighten the legs. Exhale, other side. So bend your left leg, reach to the left, look over the right shoulder. Breathing here, in and out of the nose. Inhale back to center, take your exhale, spot the front of your yoga mat, and then inhale, come all the way up. As you exhale, release your hands. Just let your hands naturally rest at your side. Breathing in and out of the nose, close the eyes or take your gaze to the earth. Fresh oxygen. Each breath in, a new beginning. Exhale, let it all go. If you have a lot to let go, I encourage audible sighs. Take another deep breath in and whatever appeals most to you, holding at the top. And exhale. Good. Wiggling the toes, the fingers. Now, those yoga blocks are right where they need to be. We're going to use those same motion we did, single-legged mountain. Feel free to take it over to the wall if you'd like. We're going to do some balancing postures, and you could take that block with you. I'll give you plenty of time to set yourself up. When you're ready, we're going to stand on the right foot first, single-legged mountain. Inhale, lift your arms, lift your left knee hip height. Remember, your toes can be on the block. Exhale, come all the way down. We're going to go right back into it. Same side. Inhale, lift. Holding for the exhale. Holding for the inhale. And releasing for the exhale. One more time, same side. Inhale, lift. Don't hold the breath, just the posture. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale, release. Really nice, friends. Let's do the other side. You know what to expect. Inhale, lift. Right knee comes up, toes on block or not. Exhale, release. And again, inhale, lift. We're going to hold for the exhale. Inhale. Exhale, last breath. Inhale and release. Really nicely done. Now, with your hand to the wall, a chair or nothing, palms can come to heart center or your right hand will be to the wall. On your inhale, let's step onto that right foot, crossing that left ankle above the right knee. Good. As you exhale, option to stay right here or sitting into that imaginary chair. Now you can sit as low or as gently as you'd like. If you have your hand to the wall, you might even find your left hand resting on the shin or helping to hold that foot in place. Take another breath. Now, as you inhale, come up to single-legged mountain, same side. And exhale, release. Really nice. We'll come into that second side. Inhale, palms to heart center, right ankle above the left knee. Now, you might notice one side a little more agreeable than the other. That's pretty natural. Exhale, option to sit in that imaginary chair. Now, as you sit, hip points reach up to the ribs. Soften the shoulders down. Good. Try to smile. That'll relax your jaw. One more breath. On your inhale, you'll lift up, come into that single-legged mountain. Exhale, release. Really nice. Take your feet the width of the mat, friends. Hands to hips. And let's hula those hips. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Take a different direction. And you don't need my permission to do so if one side is feeling a little wonky compared to the other. I like that word of the day, wonky. Go ahead and hover there. Breathe into the sensation and just find that gentle encouragement to open the hips. Really nice. Good. Now you still have your yoga blocks in front of you. Take your feet the width of the mat, toes facing forward. Inhale, reach your arms up high. And then exhale, halfway lift, if you will. So you're just going down halfway. And my blocks are out a little in front of my shoulders. So what I want to do is I want to then shift my weight. So if you are looking up here, inhale, come forward so that your shoulders will just come over those blocks. So pressing a lot of weight into the blocks. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, take your yoga blocks, walk them back toward your feet, and you'll come into a forward fold. Now, for me, those yoga blocks start to get in the way. So I'm going to take my hands to a straight line with the feet. If that's not you, you might have a yoga block, maybe a yoga block in the straight line as your feet, and you could do what I'm demoing here, hands to yoga block. I like to place them on the lowest setting. That just really depends on you. Just feel that stretch through the back of the legs. Shoulders now move away from the ears. Good. Inhale, come back out to halfway lift. Maybe hands to the mat. Left hand placed to the center of your mat, right underneath your nose. Inhale, twist right. Reach your right hand to the sky. Getting into those inner thighs now. Nice stretch. Exhale, right hand down. Left hand lifts to the sky, twisting the other way. Beautiful. Really great balance, everybody. Exhale, let's come back down. Regain those yoga blocks on their tallest setting. And then exhale, one hand to the hip, other hand to the hip. Inhale all the way up, flat back. Good. Keep your hands on your hips, lift your heart, shift those hips forward, and yoga back bend. So you're looking to the ceiling, maybe where the wall and ceiling meet. Knees are bent, engage your glute. Inhale back to upright. And exhale, release. Really, really nice, friends. Coming into a quad stretch, or you could do dancer pose. I'm going to demo with the wall. We're going to stand on our right foot first, right hand to the wall. We're going to stretch our left quad. If you're doing dancer, you'll catch the big toe or inside of the foot. On your inhale, bending left knee, catching the foot. Bring your knees together for those of you doing quad stretch. On your inhale, if you're taking dancer, kick into your hand. You're reaching with that right hand forward or up. For those of us wanting a little balance challenge, you could just take your hand away from the wall or just keep your fingers there. We don't want any injuries. We do want to stretch. So kick into your left hand, lift your hips, squeeze those knees together for those of us doing the quad stretch. Beautiful. Exhale, release. Shake out that left leg. I'm demoing the other side, and I'll demo it now without the wall, but feel free to stay with the wall if that feels good for you. On your inhale, catching for dancer on the inside or big toe side. So those of us doing the quad stretch, catching the pinky toe side. Bring your knees together, lifting your hip points up toward the ribs. Kick gently into the right hand. Those of you doing dancer, you'll start to hinge at your hip, reach forward or up, or quad stretch, left hand could be on the hip, could be at your heart, whatever feels good. Take a breath, feel the stretch. Slowly and controlled release. Good, really nice. Shake it out, shake out those legs. We're gonna come into Malasana. So Malasana is our yoga squat. If you're using a block, place it underneath your sit bones. I like the tallest setting. That is not necessary, but it is there. I will take my yoga block out after I demo how to arrive safely on it. Make sure you're standing right over it. Take your feet wide. I like my big toes and my balls of the feet off the mat, externally rotated about 45 degrees. Inhale tall, palms to heart center, like your back is against a wall. Exhale. So you're coming down. I like to think of it like an elevator, sitting on that bottom floor for me, which is the block. If that doesn't work, then sit on a chair, an ottoman, whatever feels good. Breathe into your hips. I don't want pain here, but I do want you to feel the stretch. Now, if you want to go even a little deeper, now you can remove your yoga block like I'm demoing here, which will take your sit bones a little lower. And then for me, my elbows will connect to the inner thighs, maybe sway side to side. Breathe. There's no right or wrong in yoga. So just go by how it feels. Breathing in and out of the nose. And then from here, you could use your blocks. Press into the block, slowly come all the way up. Toe heel your feet back, and then inhale, circle the arms. Take your time to get there. Big breath out. And again, inhale, circle the arms. And big breath out. Beautiful. Take your yoga blocks toward the front of your mat, hips width. And we're going to start in halfway extended. So inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your right foot at the front of the mat, step your left foot back. Good, so high lunge, and now lower your left knee down. This will sound familiar. Bring your yoga blocks back, so that they're right underneath your shoulders in their tallest setting. Good. Place your right hand into the block, and then inhale, left arm up, reach it over. Good, now you can remove your block from your mat. I like it out to the side a little bit because I like to go a little deeper. Breathe into that stretch. Now take your left hand, give yourself a nice pat between the shoulder blades. And now lift your left elbow even more and over another inch. Breathe into that stretch. This doesn't look like much, but it's a pretty deep stretch. Exhale, left hand back to the block. Step your left foot forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your right foot back. Lower your right knee down, come to your low lunge. And then walk your blocks back, come to upright. Keep your left hand to the block, place it out a little bit. Inhale, right arm lifts, and reach over to that left side. So you'll see I'm putting quite a bit of weight into that block. You could use a chair, anything that feels supportive for your practice. One more breath. As you exhale, give yourself a pat between the shoulder blades with that right hand. Lift your right elbow another inch and over. Beautiful. Exhale, right hand to block, left hand to block. Inhale, step up to the front of your mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. I am removing my blocks out of the way. Palms to the mat, friends. Step to plank pose or push-up pose. You could lower your knees here. Slow chaturanga all the way down to your belly. Take a moment, let your forehead rest on the mat. Arms can come to a cactus shape. Inhale, bend through the knees. And then just sway your feet from side to side. You can press your pubic bone into the mat a little deeper if you're experiencing any low back pain or something is just a little off or out of alignment. Wonderful. Extend your legs long. And then inhale, come right up onto the forearms into Sphinx pose. So as you come up into Sphinx pose, you notice your elbows are stacked under your shoulders. And then this is a great way to stretch the upper body on the front side, on the anterior side. Now on your next inhale, let's bring your left knee out to the side. So it's going to be even with your hips. So take your left leg, inner thigh, pressing in, and then from your knee to your ankle, a straight line. So 90-degree angle. You can look up at your screen. I'm moving my foot right now so you can see where it is. So straight line from my hip to my knee, straight line from my knee to my ankle. Flex your foot, press your inner thigh, your pubic bone, and your inner arch into the mat. Now remember Sphinx pose, engage your upper body. So we are in half frog and Sphinx variation. You're gonna feel this through that left inner thigh. If you don't feel it already, engage. Draw your navel away from the mat, press your pubic bone deeply into the mat. Long, deep breath here. And exhale, release, relax, straighten that left leg. You could bring yourself over to the left edge of your mat as we prepare for the second side. I'm going to inhale, bringing the right knee out to a straight line from the hip, and then 90-degree angle. I'm wiggling my foot now. Hopefully you can see it. It's hard on the far side. And then press your inner thigh, press your right pubic bone and the right inner arch of your foot into the mat. Feel that low body engage. And now let's create Sphinx pose by pressing through the forearms. Encourage the heart through the biceps. Lift the gaze, lift the skull. This pose doesn't look like much, but it is active. And exhale, soften. Straighten the legs and then just find your breath. Your forehead could rest on your palms. Breathing in and out of the nose, feel free to sway those feet from side to side. Always nice to open up the front of the body. Wonderful. Extend your legs long, zip your legs together, big toes kiss at the center of your mat. And then engage, press your pubic bone into the mat. And now let your arms rest at your sides, palms facing the mat. And then inhale, reach your toes, reach your fingers for the back of your yoga mat. Peel the front ribs off the mat, one at a time as we come into locust pose. This is strengthening the posterior chain of the body, the backside. And exhale, lower down and soften. Take a deep breath and soften. And again, breathing in. And exhale, breathing in and out of the nose. Inhale, engage. Locust pose. Round number 2, reaching a little bit deeper, raising another front rib off the mat. You'll feel this type of posture energizes the body. Exhale, soften, and relax. Sway your hips, even bending through the knees, swaying the feet if that feels good. Long, deep breath in and out of the nose. And then, friends, we can take locust pose again. Options to join the palms at your low back, or you can take bow pose by taking hands to the ankles or feet. And then on your inhale, you'll just kick into the hands. So a lot of options for this last round. You continue to lift the heart, the gaze, breathing. Looking so strong. And exhale, release. And just take rest on your belly. Favorite cheek to the mat or other cheek. Whatever you do to one side of the body, we always want to do to the other. And then, friends, pressing hands next to ribs and just pressing back. Let your big toes kiss at the center of your mat. Take your knees wide and come right into child's pose. Your forehead can rest on a block or on the mat. Long, deep inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Imagine sitting to your heels, even if you're not close. Root your palms in and press the mat away. That's going to give you a nice stretch through the shoulders, through the lats, and the upper back. Inhale, walk your hands to the left. You can stack the right palm. Once you're in that posture, hug your right hip back on your next out breath. You'll deepen the stretch deep into the right side body, the shoulders, the underarms. And then exhale, walk your hands across center, stacking the left palm over the right if that feels good. As the forehead rests, hug your left hip back on the exhale. Really surrendering to any new sensations, deep sensations through this posture. Good. And then come center. Come up through table pose. You're going to keep your hips stacked over your knees on this one. And then you're going to walk your hands out to the front of your mat. So your sit bone and your hips stay high. Walk yourself forward. And then you're going to notice my throat, my underarms, my chin will lower to the mat. They call this one puppy pose. Nice way to open the upper body. If it's too deep, let your forehead come to the mat. Keep breathing. You're looking between your thumbs. Walk your hands back. Really nice, friends. And then slowly come to seated. Swing your legs around. I want you to always feel supported. So I will be using a yoga block under my knee on this first variation, Janu Shirshasana. So think tree pose. Your left foot will come to the inner right thigh. You'll sit like this, or if you want support like I do under my left knee, I just place it. For me, it's on the lowest setting and it helps me to feel supported where I had that hip surgery. And I'm not sure if this will be my new normal. I might use this for the rest of my duration of Janu Shirshasana A, and that's fine. Otherwise, you know what it looks like without that block as well. On your inhale, root down. So that means press into the block or the yoga mat underneath, lift tall. And then as you exhale, hinge forward toward that extended leg. So my hands can come to a yoga block here on either side of the leg, or just hands to the mat, anything that allows you to feel the support of the practice. I'd never realized before hip surgery how much we get a stretch in our inner left thigh here. So be aware of that. And that's why we encourage you to press that left knee into something, either the block or to the mat. And then inhale, walk your hands back, come all the way up tall. Exhale, you can remove the block, extend your left leg long, and take a moment, friends. I want you to just wiggle the toes, tap the backs of your legs onto the mat. Like we did earlier standing for our upper body, we just want to return some aliveness to the low body. windshield wiper your toes, sitting up nice and tall. And then let's set up that foundation for Janu Shirshasana A on that second side. Right knee is bent, pressing toward the earth. Sit up forward on your sit bones. As you exhale, keep the torso long, just hinge at the hips. And you could just walk your hands out. You can have your hands on your shin, even around your foot. Or like I said earlier, you can use those yoga blocks at any time to feel supported. Breathing in and out of the nose. Notice the gaze is forward rather than toward your navel. And then exhale, slowly come all the way up. I always feel that table pulling me up, and I feel that strengthening and lengthening in the low back. Once again, organic movement through the legs, maybe rotating the ankles all the way around both directions. And then friends, when you're ready, slowly lower onto your back. You can keep your knees bent. Arms are gonna rest at your side. Take a deep breath in. As you keep your knees bent, walk your heels a little closer to the sit bones. Press your forearms and palms into the mat. Inhale, lift your hips toward the ceiling. Get a nice stretch. As we come into bridge pose, you'll feel this through those quads and those hip flexors. Great way to open up through the body. And exhale, slowly lower down one vertebra at a time. I forgot to remind you to get a yoga block near you. So now is a great time in between session. And then on your next inhale, press those hips skyward, breathing through the foundation, all contact points, forearms, shoulders, feet, and hands. And then slowly exhale, lower down. Now this is where that yoga block is going to come in handy. I'm going to place mine on the lowest setting. Inhale, lift your hips, and then just slide that block under your sacrum, under your pelvic region. You'll know when it's on the right spot. It will feel very nice and comfortable, but you're still getting a slight stretch through that hip flexor region. And then just rest your body on the block. This is considered a restorative back bend, as it's just allowing gravity to do all the work. Now, a few options for those of you that want to be playful, go a little deeper. You can straighten your legs. And as you straighten the legs, it might be too intense of a stretch, but you'll get a deeper stretch. And I'm running my fingers along the hip flexor so you can see where I feel that stretch. Now your block, if it's too far down on the glutes, you'll feel the natural need to bring it up to support the low back. So legs bent or straight, just breathing here, complete surrender. One of the most challenging parts of a yoga practice in life is that surrender. Deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. And then when you're ready, friends, those with straight legs, go ahead and bend through the knees. Gently lift the hips. You can remove that yoga block now and slowly lower back down to the mat. On your inhale, hug the knees into the chest. With your slow Ujjayi breath, let your knees just gently sway side to side. You can take your arms out to a T, or you can keep your hands connected with the legs. Whatever feels good, you can stay on one side for a bit. You could also move with each breath. Just noticing where you may be experiencing resistance, tightness in the low body. We know just from being human, we tend to store a lot of stress, pretty much for some people, every bit of information throughout the day in our hip region. It can store in the low back and just surface as tension. Come to center and then hug your knees in. Take your knees toward the shoulders. Go ahead and rotate your ankles again. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. And then take happy baby. Swaying here or finding your center. Knees are softening toward the earth with each exhale. take your straddle. You can hold your inner thighs. You can support the legs with the calves. Flex your feet if you can. I like to tap my pinky toes one at a time on the ground, just getting that inner thigh engagement as well. And then release, hug the knees into the chest. Exhale, drift the legs over to your left side. Reach your right arm far from the body. Take another deep breath in and out. And again, surrender physical effort from the body. And just take a few breaths here. Inhale, bring your legs across the center with minimal effort in the physical body. Drift them over to that right side. Take another deep breath in and out. And give me one more. Effortless. Just let gravity take over. With a big sigh, just roll back to center. Taking our last in-breath together, bring the nose to the knees. Hug the body in a tight shape. And with a long, deep sigh, extend your limbs long. Taking relaxation and rest in Shavasana. Natural breath returns. Right where you are, take a deeper inhale, a big sigh to release. Sometimes surrender means giving up trying to understand and becoming comfortable with not knowing. Begin to invite some small movements back to your body. Wiggling your toes, your fingers. Inhale, reach your arms overhead, long length. And with a big sigh, one final hug of the knees into the chest. And then roll to one side, arm as a pillow. When you feel ready, gently pressing up to a comfortable seat. As you bring your palms to heart center, just take a moment to scan your body. Notice familiar sensations, new sensations. Notice your breath. I wish you a very peaceful and compassionate Tuesday. And I look forward to seeing you again Thursday for flow and meditation. Thank you again, my friends. I hope you feel better than when we began. Namaste. Thank you so much. Take good care. You did great today.